Hello and happy fall. So, I haven't done a little roundup of what I plan on knitting slash am inspired to knit in a while. So I thought I'd share with you, since I just did a big yarn haul, a little roundup of my fall slash winter knitting plans and see if any of these are on your plan list or if any of these inspire you to pick up your knitting needles again and get to knitting. So recently I had a birthday, and for my birthday, my friends got me a gift card to Wool& Co. So I just did a pretty big yarn haul, and I think I'm stocked up and ready to go for the rest of the year. Of course, there's going to be more things that I add to my queue and my mental wish list, but for now, everything that is in front of me is what I'm going to be knitting, or at least try to hold tight and true to. But we'll see. So, that being said, the first big thing is something that's been on my list for a while, and it is the Olga sweater. So I have seen so many versions of this, and I couldn't figure out which one I wanted to do first because honestly, this seems like the type of sweater I may make multiples of in the future because the Norma sweater right here, I already know I want to make another one in a different colorway. So I think that's fine to do doubles of things if it makes you happy, and that is definitely something I'm planning on doing. But the colorway that I have decided to do is these are the main colors. It is like this little beigey brown and a cream color. And to be safe, there are two more of these because I don't want to play yarn chicken again. If you guys all remember my Sabai sweater debacle, I played yarn chicken twice and I lost twice. So that wasn't fun and I don't want to do that again. So I'm just erring on the side of caution now when it comes to yarn. So these are going to be the main colorways for it. And I am doing a contrasting color for the collar and the cuffs. I'm debating on doing it for the bottom of the sweater as well, but I'm leaning towards not and maybe just making the darker brown, the beige. But we'll get there. We've got time to experiment. But this is going to be the color. Ooh. This is going to be the color here for the collar. And when I was looking around, it coincidentally just happened to be the exact yarn gauge I need for another item I want to knit. So I've been into color work a lot lately, and I just think it's such a perfect thing to do for winter to get into color work. Hi, Mozzarella. Did you want to come over? Mozzarella might pop in and out of frame, but we love him, so he can come in whenever he wants. You want to come over? Anywho, so the other thing that I'm planning on doing is let me look up the name. I don't want to get it wrong. Hang tight. Where did you go? Ah, the Goose Giselda by Anna-Sofia Vintersol. And I just think it's so pretty. And I love the colors that are in it. And unfortunately, the exact red that was used in it is discontinued, or at least it's out of stock. But I thought the red that I'm already using for the Olga matched so closely that I also got the same brand because I don't want to have two different brands of yarn for a very intense color work. So I just got another cream for this one so that they're matching. I don't mind as much having different yarns for the Olga sweater because I think that having the main body be those two main types, just having a difference in yarn for the collar isn't as bad. Whereas I think if I had two different types of yarn, even if they're the same gauge, would just maybe throw it off a little bit. So I just wanted a little more consistency with this. But I'm very excited to knit this. I think it's going to be such a cute bonnet. I'm in a big bonnet mood lately. For instance, let me show you. It's not done yet because the ties are currently blocking, but this is a bonnet I kind of freehanded whipped up, and the ties I did in stockinette, but then I did a green contrasting I-cord edge for the sides, and it's so cute, and I can't wait to seam it together. But until then, I'm still on bonnet on the mind mode. Come here, bug. So, anyway, yes, I'm gonna keep on with bonnets, and I'll probably have a few more because there's a bonnet idea that I think I'm going to try to make my own official pattern for, and it's going to be a little bit of a color work project. And I can't wait to share that with you guys once it's ready, but I don't want to put the cart before the horse yet. But back to this beautiful Cascade Superwash Merino. I was looking at a few different color works on Pinterest for different color work striped scarves. And I think I'm going to have extra of this yarn. Yes, there's more of this in the bag as well, because again, I just am really on a cautionary tale here of yarn chicken. So I have more. But I also got this beautiful brown because I have been in a bit of a like chocolate brown mood lately. And I think this would make a fun striped scarf. Kind of reminds me, I don't know what type of snake it is, but I know there's a snake that has this kind of colorway, and I think it looks pretty cool. So eventually that'll be for when I have a little bit more, when I just want to kind of like, I don't have to think about it project, that'll be what I go to. So maybe I'll be doing it when I'm making the other bonnet, but we'll see. And there is one other big project that I have already started and am in the process of working on. So this is called the Quilt Block Scarf, and I forget the name of the creator, but I will put it in the caption. But here's kind of what it looks like a little bit. And this is using some leftover yarn scraps that I have, but the pattern for it has like 5 or 6 different colors, and I think they look beautiful, but I needed some more. I definitely needed some more brown, so I got some more brown because I only have, I think, one, and that's not going to be enough for the scarf. And I got 3 more colors just to make sure I have enough, and there's about doubles of all of these, and I think a triple of the chocolate brown, because I've been leaning towards, I think my last 2 or 3 projects that I've done have used this. So big fan of this Lang Merino 120. The consistency is beautiful. I've bought, hello bug, I bought about, I want to say like 8 skeins of this so far, and not one has had a single factory knot. So 10 out of 10 recommend the Merino 120, and there's so many different colors. So you truly cannot run out of ideas or colorways. And they usually have like a matching feathering weight that you can pair with it. Oh, don't snag my jacket, bug. So yes, would recommend checking out Lang, especially the 120 line. I haven't had any problems. So I think the green is going to be what I do next, and I'm excited to whip her up. What's interesting about this pattern is that it's knit flat, and what eventually is going to happen is I'm going to fold it and seam it together. So this is what the real width of the scarf is going to be. So it won't be as wide, and that's just so that your floats don't show. Although I do think this would be a really easy one, that if you weren't feeling like doing a color switch, you could very easily do a double knit with this. And I think just a red and brown combo on that would be really cute. So that might be something for another day. Maybe I'll make one for a friend and do that. But there's a lot of work I always forget that goes into scarves, mainly because I forget how long they need to be. And sometimes I get a little demotivated when I realize how much longer I need to keep going, and I just get bored of the pattern. So I have noticed that scarves tend to be the thing that I put down, forget about, and come back to. And that was something that was happening when I was doing my last bonnet. I was just getting a little bored of stockinette back and forth. But at least this is color work, so I feel like I get motivated to finish a star and then want to do the next one. So maybe it'll go by quicker than I think. But also on that note, this is usually a colorwork project ends up being something that doesn't follow me around because I don't want my yarn to tangle in a bag. So I like having a don't think about it, don't tangle it, and a think about it project all at the same time. But that's just me. So that was a lot. I am very excited, a little overstimulated right now, but I think I'm going to start casting on for the Olga sweater now. And I feel a little bit more confident also in the choices because I made sure that the yarn that I got was one that somebody else had already used, engaged, swatched, and did. So I feel confident that this is going to look great because I've already seen it on someone's finished whip and it looks beautiful. So on that note, I'm going to get to casting this on and finish this star today, and probably later tonight go on Ravelry and find even more projects that I'm inspired to do and cue those away. So I am excited to hear what you guys are knitting. Please let me know if you're making something similar or have already done one of these projects. I'd love to hear about it. And if you have any advice for any of those things that you don't think the pattern says or notes, let me know. I think the knitting community has been so great at just being helpful in such a resourceful place. So I just want to preemptively thank you all for, again, just making this an incredible space to be in. So I hope you are inspired and staying warm this winter.